Limited edition holiday makeup has had a chokehold on the beauty community for so many years now. If you guys have been following my channel regularly, or if you're an OG viewer, do you remember back in 2014, 2015, 2016? Those were the years I went hard on the holiday makeup palette reviews. I mean, I did full series with just holiday palette review after review, and the beauty community online was just eating that stuff up. We loved it. Not only did I love purchasing those products and reviewing them for you guys, but I loved watching that content too. It was just, it created the community. Of course, over the years, that excitement has shifted. Again, if you've been a beauty lover for a handful of years, I'm sure 1, 2, 3, 5 of the reasons I chat about in this video will resonate with you, because I know I'm not the only one feeling this way. Definitely in the past 5 years or so, I have really limited my purchasing of limited edition holiday makeup products. And the other day I was reflecting on this and wondering why. Why have I stepped away from focusing on and purchasing, and why has my excitement for these products dwindled? So I started jotting it down. I started kind of brainstorming and realizing that there are some very legitimate reasons why I don't really purchase holiday makeup anymore. Also, I really quickly wanted to mention that this video is going up on Cyber Monday, but I am going to be extending the Rani Cosmetics Black Friday Cyber Monday sale we have going on. In case you guys didn't know, I own my own cosmetics line, which is called Rani Cosmetics. And right now, for the past week or so, we've been running our Black Friday, which is 50% off the entire website. No exclusions. That includes all the pre-discounted bundles, all of our single lipsticks, eyeshadow palettes, anything you guys want to get. It's 50% off right now. And like I said, I'm going to extend the sale through the end of the month. So on November 30th will be your last day to shop the Black Friday sale. I figured I'd let you guys know. But anyways, when I really broke it down, I realized that I was coming from this holiday makeup collecting standpoint from 3 different perspectives. Firstly, I have personal reasons why I just personally don't feel like I need to add a ton more limited edition holiday makeup into my collection. Second up, we have YouTube related reasons or job related reasons. And thirdly, I have reasons from the back end knowledge of a makeup brand owner. So let's jump into the reasons why I don't purchase holiday makeup anymore, starting off with personal reasons. To me, this is an obvious one. I love everything Christmas, everything holiday, everything themed. It's so fun and festive. But honestly, once January hits, once Christmas is over, I don't want a makeup palette that has Santa Claus on it. I'm not gonna reach for a Santa Claus palette in June. I'm not reaching for my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer holiday lip gloss in August. It's just not happening. There's a link missing with that for me. Now, of course, if you happen to find your favorite lip gloss shade and it happens to have Rudolph packaging on it, obviously it's not gonna stop you from using it year round. But in general, you know, when you have a whole scope of lip products or a whole scope of makeup palettes, for me, I'm not reaching for the super festive holiday ones outside of the months of November and December. Another personal reason why I don't buy specifically value sets or value kits very often, we're talking Sephora favorites kits, we're talking single brand kits where a brand maybe curates like their fan favorite products and includes like 5 or 6 full-size products and like a little makeup bag or something. Even though those tend to be at a good value, what I have realized over the years is if I'm not interested in every single item in that kit, that means a bunch of product is just going to waste. That means a bunch of product is not going to get used. Even worse, it's just going to be sitting in my collection, never to be touched. And at the end of the day, for example, let's say you're getting 6 products from a given brand brand, and the price of the kit is equal to the value of 3 products, meaning you're getting 3 for free. But if I really only wanted 2 or 3 products in the kit to begin with, the other 3 free products that are just going to be collecting dust in my collection, it's not a value. It's just adding clutter. Of course, unless you're going to regift those items or they're going to go somewhere else. But if they're just going to be sitting in my collection, I don't want them. I don't need them. And honestly, more often than not, I don't want every product that's in one of those value sets or value kits. So really, it's not a value for me. As far as YouTube related reasons, content creator related reasons, I have found that nobody wants to see limited edition holiday makeup talked about after the holiday is over. If we're talking limited edition holiday makeup palette of 2023, once again, January hits and literally every holiday after that, if you can't get that limited edition holiday palette anymore, nobody wants to hear you talking about it. Nobody wants to see it linked in the description box as the eyeshadow products you're wearing because nobody can buy it anymore. It has a very, very short lifespan on a channel. So unless it's something that's just genuinely really revolutionary, really amazing, or of course something that I personally really connect to that I really, really want, it just doesn't make sense in terms of value for a channel, you know, value for growing a YouTube channel anymore. And this has really come into play because of my next reason here. I have noticed that especially in the years of 2014, 2015, 2016, I really racked up those holiday makeup items. I used to film individual reviews on every limited edition palette, every limited edition value kit I could get my hands on, especially things you guys were really interested in. And honestly, those videos did really, really well for me. So many people came to my channel looking for those holiday reviews, and it really helped my channel grow. It was a really big boost for me. So now I have some sentimentality. Is that a word? I don't know. I have some sentimental feelings towards those, specifically those limited edition, really hard to find, of course, products you can't get anymore and haven't been able to get for close to a decade, those makeup palettes. And they're now sitting in my collection. And while I don't use them anymore, because number one, there's no point to use them on camera because nobody can get them. And number two, they're just old. So especially with like eye makeup and stuff going around your sensitive eye area, just be a little weary about products that are super old. While I don't use these products anymore, they're not getting used in my collection. I also don't want to declutter them. I don't want to declutter them for fear of, oh, what if I get rid of this palette and then I regret it? What if I want to look back because it's kind of like a history of my YouTube channel, a history of my beauty growth, of my passion for makeup. It's kind of a part of just me and my history evolving as a beauty lover. You know, it's got some sentimentalness to me. So for those reasons, I don't want to get rid of them. So now I literally have makeup palettes, specifically limited edition holiday palettes, sitting in my collection that take up a lot of space because if you guys remember the palettes from back in the day, they were ginormous, but I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want to declutter them because what if I want to look back at them in another 5 or 10 years? So I hold on to them. I hold on to them, and again, I don't regret having them and I don't regret them taking up space in a collection, but I do fear if I do get rid of them, I will regret that decision. The other reason I don't really purchase limited edition holiday, specifically palettes anymore, is because as a creator, single palette or single product reviews, they're just not as popular on the platform anymore. Again, back in the day, we're talking back in 2014, 2015, if you reviewed a single palette or a single product or a single formula, you can easily make a 15-minute video on that product product, and you will get lots of views on that video. So many people were looking up, you know, very specifically the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca remix palette review. They would look that up in YouTube and find your channel, and that was a very big way for content creators to build a channel. But to be honest, I don't feel like that's really getting as much engagement anymore. I can just say for myself, I don't know the last time I have literally typed into the YouTube search bar a single palette review, or getting really specific like the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette review. I have not looked that up. I just don't see a lot of people being that interested in a single product review anymore. So because the platform has just changed the type of content we all like to make as creators, and as viewers, the content we like to watch has changed, I just don't think it makes as much sense, especially for me, to buy every holiday makeup product out there to review. There are also some reasons I don't purchase limited edition holiday makeup coming from a makeup brand owner. This is kind of coming a little bit from the back end of owning a brand, seeing other brands, seeing what other brands release around this time, and seeing the production of those products. Typically, and we're not going to talk about any specific brands here, but typically, especially when it comes to the big brands, the limited edition holiday makeup products are not made as high quality as products in their permanent range. The reason brands do this is because they are banking on you making the purchase based on the cute theming, the cute holiday packaging, and the limited editionness. The whole FOMO that we feel when limited edition is slapped on the packaging, when the marketing of something is get it sooner rather than later because it's not going to be around for very long. That's what brands are banking on when it comes to holiday makeup products. Because remember, when a brand is fleshing out a permanent line of products, these are products that are going to be around for a long time. They put a lot of research and development and a lot of effort into creating a really good product and formula because they want the return customer. They want you to buy the foundation that you love. It becomes your new go-to foundation, and when you run out of it, you go back to that same brand and purchase that same product again. That's why the permanent line in a lot of makeup brands tends to be just way better quality than any limited edition release they do. And the other thing coming from the back end of a makeup brand owner I know is that most brands tend to make limited edition holiday makeup products very giftable. This is the time where people are buying for gifts for friends or family, potentially for people who are not really makeup enthusiasts like we are. Obviously, if you're watching a makeup channel on YouTube, you're more of a makeup enthusiast than the everyday consumer. And brands know that. They realize that. So oftentimes they're trying to make their limited edition holiday stuff very cute and giftable for the common man. Because of that, the products and formulas tend to be a little bit more basic or a lot more universal. You know, the colors might be a little bit more ordinary just because they want to appeal to a wider crowd. And again, you want to appeal to the crowd of people who aren't necessarily makeup enthusiasts, but want a nice holiday makeup item gifted to them. So those are the reasons coming from 3 different perspectives as to why I personally just don't purchase a lot of holiday makeup products anymore. The next piece of this video, we've got a couple different pieces. I really tried to map this out in my head to make it a nice, full, cohesive video for you guys. But the next piece of this video is going to be chatting about brands that used to release amazing limited edition holiday collections and holiday palettes. These were the products that we would all eat up as consumers in the beauty community. But unfortunately, I feel like all of these brands have just fallen off the deep end when it comes to holiday releases. And let's talk about it. The first brand we'll chat about is Too Faced. Too Faced used to release some of the most iconic limited edition holiday makeup palettes. I reviewed a lot of them. If you guys want to go back on my channel, check through my playlist because I have full playlist, especially in the year of 2014, 2015, and 2016. And you guys will see some of the most iconic, some of the most amazing limited edition holiday palettes that used to come out. We don't see stuff like this anymore. We don't see this kind of exciting, revolutionary beauty coming out in holiday products anymore. I know Too Faced still does a ginormous holiday collection, but over the years, unfortunately, Too Faced is one of the brands that has kind of fallen victim to the we create a large, cute collection that has cute branding and cute packaging, but our formulas and the actual makeup items are subpar quality. Because again, they're not banking on the recurring customer. You're not going to be buying the Too Faced limited edition holiday palette of 2023 and then want to repurchase it in summer of 2024. But I'm telling you, back in the day, Too Faced really, I mean, they set the bar. They were one of the top tier makeup palettes for the holiday. I would always look forward to their theming. I know everybody else was always looking forward to their theming, and I'm just so sad that we just don't have that kind of excitement anymore. And fun fact, Too Faced was actually the very first holiday makeup palette that I ever purchased from Sephora. Actually, the Too Faced, I have a video showing this palette. I'll link it below if you guys want to see it, but it was the cutest Marie Antoinette inspired old school Too Faced holiday palette, and one of my best friends had purchased it and she was showing it to me, and I thought it was so cute that I went to Sephora the next day and purchased it for myself. And it was the very first high-end makeup purchase I think I ever made. Wild, right? That was way back in the day. Right along with Too Faced, another brand who used to release iconic holiday limited edition palettes was Urban Decay. Urban Decay's Book of Shadows. How many of you guys were around back when Urban Decay was releasing Book of Shadows? I think I started with volume 2. I came in, volume 1 was the year before I started collecting makeup, but I started on volume 2 and I got volume 3. I think they had a volume 4, and then they moved on to their Vice palettes. And by the time Vice came around, I was definitely making YouTube videos. So I was reviewing all the Vice palettes as they were coming out. It was such a time on YouTube. You guys, this is just it's so nostalgic to me. It was such a time. Another brand that released iconic holiday makeup palettes was Tarte. I know Tarte does a whole slew of stuff nowadays too, but the Tarte old school holiday makeup palettes, I feel like if those came out now, we would definitely roll our eyes. Now I feel like they look a little cheap and a little kitschy and not quite as special as they did back in the day. They were so special back then. You guys, the Lorac Mega Pro palettes, oh my goodness, this was so, I don't even know, this was a time on YouTube, you guys. The Lorac Mega Pro palettes, I remember those being some of the hardest holiday palettes to get. I don't even know how I got my hands on that first one because it had so much hype. People were stalking it, staying up all night trying to get this palette. And I got it and I reviewed it, and I reviewed the Mega Pro 2 the following year and the Mega Pro 3 the year after that. And again, it was such a time. I feel like we don't really have that anymore. I don't know if it's just me, but I almost feel like we don't have that super hype, that limited edition, that want, that need for that new release anymore. I'm not saying that brands need to start releasing really hard to find super limited edition stuff, because it really did cause a frenzy. I mean, there was a frenzy, there were resellers, it was people would cry and like stay up all night, and it was a thing. There was something special there. There definitely was something special. Another brand that released iconic holiday palettes, KVD. Back then it was Kat Von D. Now it's KVD, but back when Kat Von D was not known to be a shitty person, she did release some iconic holiday makeup palettes. Her brand really brought the edgy, gothic, rock and roll, just really cool vibe to makeup. And she was really unique in that. And even again, her holiday makeup palettes were so amazing, so creative, so unique. I mean, Kat Von D she's an artist through and through. And you can tell that no matter what I think of her as a person and her perspectives on, you know, stuff, she definitely is talented. And her makeup brand was thriving back then, just absolutely thriving for good reason. The MAC holiday collections back in the day also were absolutely iconic. They always had two big collections. There was their main color collection and then the sets. They would have mini lip gloss sets and mini pigment sets. The pigment sets were so iconic. This was when pigments were the thing. I mean, MAC pigments specifically were so hyped. I know loose pigments in general, they're not as popular nowadays. I'm sure the trend will come back around because that's just the way trends work. But we're talking back about 8 years ago or so, pigments were so hot. And I really would stock up on those MAC holiday pigment sets. I don't know if they still do them. Now that I think about it, maybe they still do them and I'm just not paying attention. It's very possible. I don't know. And then the final brand, which RIP to this brand, Bite Beauty. Bite Beauty used to release mini sets of their lipsticks and their jumbo lip pencils. And I remember those kits specifically were so hot. They were really hard to get your hands on. I mean, people were just grabbing those. They would sell out so quickly because they were so good. They were so giftable. And the Bite Beauty lip formulas, all of them were just delicious. They were so good, especially those lipsticks. I love those lipsticks. And I know, ooh, there's a piece of hair here. Okay, let's try to fix that. No, we don't want to be fixed. What's going on? Just tuck you under like that. All right. I know the Bite Beauty brand isn't completely gone, but they have completely stopped making just products. They've basically turned it into an experience. They have their lip labs in select locations where you can go in and get custom made lipsticks, which I think is very cool. I actually did that experience back when Bite Beauty was still around in Sephora. I did that experience in New York City when I went there one year, and it was such a fun experience. There's actually one here in LA. Actually, there might be a couple here in LA, but there's one in the Century City Mall that I see all the time. Maybe I want to go do that one day. That would maybe be a really fun vlog. Maybe I'll make that an upcoming vlog. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Stick around, subscribe if you want to see that. Now I want to jump into talking about a few exceptions to the rule. At the beginning of this video, I talked about all of the reasons why I don't purchase holiday makeup anymore, but there are some exceptions to this rule. There are some things that I do think are worth looking into, even if they're limited edition and holiday related. For example, the first thing that to me is a good exception to the rule is that if there is a value kit of some sort of set where you're getting multiple items or value sizes of items that you already love, or all items that you genuinely have been wanting to try, then go for it. That's a good value. If there are 5 different makeup items in a kit and you're like, I was gonna purchase all 5 of these individually. I am genuinely interested in all of these items, and if I can get 5 items for the price of 3, then why not? And that I agree with. In that case, absolutely go for it, get the value. Another exception to the rule would be if you're getting a value size of something that again, you already know and love. For example, around the holidays, I noticed the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. That tends to go on sale. You can get a giant value size of it for like 20 bucks at Sephora. Usually they drop that deal around Black Friday. And that's a cream that I always have in my collection. While I may not use it every day, it is my go-to hydrating cream when I get eczema patches on my body, and I find that stuff amazing. It's just one of those tools that I always have in my toolkit, you know, my skincare toolkit. Even if I'm not using it every day, I always need it on hand. Another example of something like this is the Pharmacy Green Clean Trio. They released a Green Clean Trio set this year that had 3 limited edition scents, and they're in kind of like deluxe sizes. They're not all full size, but it's still a good value for what you get. And it coincides with my next exception to the rule, which is to get an item you already know and love, potentially in a limited edition color or scent, just like the Pharmacy Green Clean Trio. I already know I love that formula. I love that product, and I will use it and use it up. So it's fun to try it in 3 new scents that aren't available in their permanent line. Similar to that, Laneige released a lip sleeping mask in the scent Peppermint, which I was very excited to try. To me, it smells like candy cane. And again, the Laneige lip sleeping mask is an item I use almost every night. I've gone through so many jars of that, so I know I will use this. So even though the peppermint scent is not a permanent scent, it's still a formula and a product that I know I love, I know I will use. So to me, that's an exception to the rule. You know, I don't have any problems purchasing a flavor or a scent of something I already love. But don't get me wrong, I am not perfect. I wrote out this whole list of reasons I don't buy limited edition holiday makeup kits, makeup sets, or palettes, and yet a girl still did it. This year I did purchase 2 particular holiday makeup releases, limited edition products that, to be honest, I didn't need in my collection. These products definitely break the rules that I set out in this video, but I want to wrap this video up by talking about these couple items I did purchase, because at the end of the day, makeup, beauty, all of this, it's all for fun, you guys. So if there is a product out there that maybe doesn't make logical sense for you to purchase, maybe it is limited edition, maybe you know that the formula isn't going to be as good as permanent items, maybe you know you're not going to reach for that reindeer palette in July, yet you still are gravitating towards it, you still want it, there's just something about it that's making you happy, get it. It doesn't matter, just get it. If it's something that brings joy, that's all that matters. So there are 2 items that really kind of hit for me in that category. The first is the Makeup by Mario Etherealized palette. You guys will have seen this in my Sephora haul. I purchased it during the Sephora holiday savings event, and honestly, I've been loving it. I used it as part of my look today. I have honestly been reaching for it in almost every eye look I've done since I bought it. And that's saying a lot, because I have a lot of palettes, I have a lot of eyeshadows, and when I first used that palette, I didn't think it was that special, but the more I use it, the more I'm loving it. I always get compliments when I wear that palette, and I'm so happy with it. And it is a limited edition Makeup by Mario palette. I know in a couple months, nobody's really gonna care about this palette anymore. I'm not gonna be able to link it or talk about it with you guys very much, because you guys won't be able to get your hands on it, but it still brings me joy. It still makes me happy. So I'm still very happy with that purchase. And the other holiday collection that I purchased, which is completely breaking every rule in the book here, but I did go ahead and purchase the bundle of the Odin's Eye holiday palettes this year. You guys, Odin's Eye re-released the 2 palettes they released last year, which was their Merry Christmas and their New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve or something. Those 2 palettes that they released last year that sold out like instantly and everybody was obsessed with, they re-released those, and they released 2 new palettes for this year. And I'm gonna be honest, this collection breaks every rule in the book. These are just like Christmas threw up over these palettes. I mean, they have snowmans, they have reindeers, they have everything that is so holiday. The color stories in these palettes, while they're not necessarily like holiday. It's still going to be something that I naturally gravitate towards in November and December because of the overall branding of these palettes. But when I say that last year not picking up these palettes created a hole in my heart that I could not fill. I know it's dramatic, you guys, but I'm telling you, this was one of the very few makeup products that launched that I had severe FOMO that I did not purchase last year. I didn't purchase a lot of holiday makeup last year because I was trying to follow these rules, all of these kind of reasons that I laid out for you. And because these palettes look so Christmassy, the theming of them is so over the top holiday, that was the reason I didn't purchase them last year. But then after I missed out and they sold out and everybody was hyping up the quality, the colors, the overall, just the looks that people were doing with these palettes, I had so much regret in my heart. And Odin's Eye was so insistent that they were not going to re-release them, and I just thought, all right, well, this is just a loss that I'm gonna have to be okay with. And then when Odin's Eye said they were re-releasing them, oh my gosh, I set a 6 a.m. alarm for the day they were gonna come out. I grabbed them on launch day because, you know, I couldn't miss out yet again. And admitting to this purchase is fully just rounding out this video to let you guys know that everybody's human, nobody's perfect. Again, even though I try to follow these rules I set out for myself as to why I don't purchase holiday makeup anymore, at the end of the day, if something brings you joy, if something makes your heart happy, just go for it. That is it for this video. This was a really chatty one. I don't know. I mapped this video out yesterday and I was like, I'm gonna film this because I have a lot of babbling to do. At the very least, it'll be a cathartic experience for myself. Maybe it'll also explain to you guys a little bit as to why I don't do the holiday review extravaganzas and the holiday paloozas anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of the points that I made in this video. Is there any quote unquote rule that I set that you guys are like, no, Ishani, I definitely don't follow that for this reason? Let me know because I'd love to just start a discussion with you guys. Again, don't forget that the Rani Cosmetics Black Friday Cyber Monday sale will end in a couple days. I will have the coupon code, the link to shop, all that good stuff, all the info you need to know in the description box for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you in my next video very soon. I'll see you then. Bye.